Welcome to your hero, the greatest fighter of Kamak. Welcome to Tola. Bring in the challenger.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ape Nation, your number one source for all things Planet of the Apes on YouTube. My name is Josh, and today I am giving my review of episode 2 of the short-lived 1974 TV series, Planet of the Apes. If you like what I do here and want to show your support, be sure to hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on all things apes. For those who don't know, this is a series of reviews following every single episode of the show, all leading to a full series review later this year. If you haven't seen my review of episode 1 already, you can check it out right here. And for those who want to follow along with my reviews or just want to watch the entire show, I've put a link down in the description where you can watch the show completely free. As I did with my review for episode 1, I'm going to talk a little bit spoilery throughout this review. I'm just going to give my general thoughts up top, and then if you haven't seen the episode yet, you can click off the video after that, watch the episode, come back, and then check out the rest of the review. But for those who have seen it, you can just watch the whole thing. So with all of that said, let's dive into Planet of the Apes episode 2, The Gladiators. When Burke and Virdon find themselves captured, they are entered into a gladiator-style fight ring with other humans that is run by the ape prefect Barlow, who amuses himself by making the humans in his charge fight to the death. Just giving my general thoughts on this episode, overall, I thought it was decent. I think it was a step down from the pilot, which I thought was such a strong start to the story. I thought it set up the characters well, I thought it set up the story well, I thought it set up the adventure and the tone and the world really well. This episode, I thought was okay. I thought it was fine overall. I enjoyed it. I think it has a nice message, despite the fact that it's a little basic and a little surface level, but I do think it fits with what we know of Planet of the Apes and what it's always been about. And also I liked that we got a little more time with Galen. That was really appreciated. I just think I wanted more from Burke and Virdon. I don't think we got quite enough of them in this episode. We didn't get quite enough of their dynamic and their relationship and their development, and instead we get a little more time with some new characters that overall only service this one episode. And so overall I thought it was an okay episode. Just thought overall it was a step down from the pilot. I thought it wasn't as strong, I thought it wasn't as memorable, but I think it sustained the momentum from the first episode, and it kept me wanting to see the next one, and it kept me continuing to want to see the story continue and want to see more from these characters. So those are just my overall general thoughts on the episode. Getting a little more into the details of the whole thing, I think the story here just isn't as compelling as the setup of episode 1. It was still fun to watch, I just found it a little basic. Like I said, there's too much focus on the new characters, Tolar and Dalton. I just never really cared that much about them. They aren't given enough time for you to really care, and so during the time that you're spending with them, I was just like, can we get more of what's going on with Virdon and Burke? Can we get to see more of what they're doing? Can we get more of their interactions? And so I just wanted more of them and less of the new guys. But I will say I really liked Galen in this episode. I like that he gets to do a lot more. He gets more to do for you as an audience member to be able to appreciate and enjoy him and what he's doing in this whole story. I mean, he has a really fun dynamic with another new character named Prefect Barlow, who I'm going to talk about in just a minute. But I really liked Galen in this episode. I liked everything that was going on with him and him trying to get the disc back, and that whole story was fun. And also just Galen continuing to learn more about humans and grow more fondness and appreciation for them, I thought was really enjoyable, and I really liked it. It very much is evocative of what Roddy McDowall's past ape characters have been a part of, so I like that he's continuing to play that kind of character, albeit a different version of that. I also think that the concept of the games that are in this episode, the human killing each other games, and what they do thematically, like I said, it just feels a little basic, but it does well in building out this era of the world, and it works within the context of what we know of Planet of the Apes. I think the theme of killing is bad? Yeah, of course it is, no duh. It's just presented in a very surface level basic way, but I think overall the message still works well and still is gotten across very effectively. And I think the idea behind the games and having stuff like that at this point in time in Planet of the Apes history is really cool, and I think it's fun to see stuff like that explored a little bit. And also I like that it continues doing what I was hoping the show would do, which is just show other aspects of what this point in time for the timeline looks like and what is going on between humans and apes and what type of stuff they're doing. So I really appreciated some of that stuff. Like I said, I just thought the thematic side of things was just a little too basic, but that's just me. And then getting back to Prefect Barlow, the character I mentioned earlier, I think John Hoyt is great in this role. He's really fun, he's really charismatic, and makes me want to know more about the chimpanzee characters from the OG timeline. I like that we get to start learning about how the chimpanzees are versus how the orangutans are, which we've gotten tastes of, but he started talking about it a little bit more in depth, and it made me want to get to learn more about that whole side of the world in the Planet of the Apes universe. So I overall really enjoyed this character. I think he's fun, I think he's entertaining to watch, and like I said, I think he has a really great back and forth with Galen throughout this episode. And then, like I mentioned earlier, you have Tolar and Dalton, played by William Smith and Mark Singer respectively, and they're okay. They aren't given much, like I said, to make me care, and they just take screen time away from the main characters who I do care about and their story. And overall, I didn't care when Tolar died. It just happened. I'm like, that's sad. Okay, move on. Can we get more of the characters that I'm here for now? So I don't think they really hindered the episode, but they didn't really help it for me either. So overall, I think my biggest issue with this episode really is just those characters and them not really adding much for me as a viewer and just taking away from the stuff I do want to see. But as for some stuff that I did still also enjoy, is I really liked that we get to see more of the apes and humans discussing human history. It's something that's really exciting and it's fun to see expanded upon, and it's something that I'm really looking forward to continue to see throughout this series. And while the story doesn't move forward that much here, I think it's somewhat made up for with the action, which is entertaining despite the fact that it's very 1970s TV action. It's still entertaining to watch, and there's some, like I said, decent world building that's happening throughout this entire episode. So overall, I think the episode did a good job at sustaining momentum from episode 1, and it gave me just enough to enjoy and leave me excited to see where things go from here. But I don't have too much to say beyond that about the episode. Overall, I did enjoy watching it, not as much as episode 1, and I'm hoping episode 3 and the following episodes do get better from here. But I think episode 2 from now is the weak spot of the series for me. But I want to know what you think of episode 2. What is your opinion? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think this is a better episode than the first one? Or do you agree that this was a step down? What do you think of the games? What do you think of the new characters, Tolar and Dalton? What do you think of Prefect Barlow? I really enjoy him, and I want to know what you guys think of him as well. But that's all I have to say for now until I return next week with my review for episode 3 of the Planet of the Apes TV series. But until then, thank you so much for checking out today's video here on Ape Nation. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on all things apes. I'll catch you in the next one, so until then, goodbye.